I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying in chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light.
Been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. They've been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise.
Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the state, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my tin in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a loped out gangster, set tripping banker, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things is going, I don't know.
Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? They've been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. They've been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise.
Power and the money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool.
Been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. They've been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are
Okay, tonight I'm going to impart a bit of wisdom. That wisdom is what separates me from the rest of humanity. Its concept is based upon my ability to bring to life the images within my mind. It's no superpower, it's not supernatural, but it is so powerful it can make fantasy into reality. This super awesome ability is called imagination, and everyone has it, but only a true creator, an inventor, an artist or someone of that caliber can wield such power. For example, no one knows if fairies are real, but they could be, because we have no idea whether the guy who invented the helicopter's design had based the original concept off of a fairy from some story. So in that sense fairies could be real, and equipped with rocket launchers and automatic machine guns, like a Rambo fairy. The point I'm making is that everything mankind has made, even down to the concept of fire, began in the imagination. Mankind, however, in its pursuit of perfection, has come to dismiss fantasy as something that is not real and thus not possible, therefore limiting their potential by limiting their imaginations. Most likely it is a part of the reason why the movie and entertainment industry output of good quality films and music has plummeted recently, because the creators have been forced to limit their imaginations. It is my limitless imagination that has no boundaries because of my persona that allows me to produce over 400 videos in a matter of 2 years. It's that same limitless imagination that has molded someone who decided to stand up and make a difference in the out-of-control world we live in today by becoming that which you all have considered to be impossible by not allowing myself to be limited by anyone, not by God, not even by myself. It's that same uncontainable imagination that can take an ancient concept of magic and apply real scientific research to derive a real working process that can affect weather patterns, natural disasters and even stellar events, as well as discover a way to defy death and thus defy reality. You people think that I need you to believe in what I do to allow it to happen, but you couldn't be more wrong. It's not your belief in me that makes me so powerful and so different from the rest of humanity, it's my belief in myself that drive my abilities to be limitless. This is what I feel is the point and the path which God has led me to, the reason and fulcrum to the reason why He sent me back and has not allowed me to die since my death as a child. This is my reason for it all. I still think He should have asked, but standing here now at the precipice of my destiny, I can see there would have been no way to, for it is not a question that could be presented to a child. That question comes as a choice. Having attained the ultimate power and exceeded the limits of my own species, possessing the ability to affect the very fabrics of time and space through my will, bridging a path that makes fantasy into reality, what will I do with such power? Power is pointless unless the one who wields it has a cause and gives it a purpose. That purpose has many possible paths. I chose to learn all the paths possible, good, evil, to live for others and to live for one's self. I chose them all, for life is constantly changing, as do the obstacles we all face. There are times to be righteous and live for a righteous cause, but there are also times when we must be evil, for the obstacles we face requires that act that is considered sinful, and the outcome of choosing otherwise would cause a cascade of chaos and loss of life sometimes. So I choose to face each obstacle in life as I see it necessary to be approached, but also I keep in mind the consequences of those actions, not only to myself but to others, and the rippling effect it may have on others I may not even be aware of. I discover the tales and stories of our ancestors who came before us and derive their knowledge and experience from what has been left to us to discover. This has allowed me to develop an understanding that is universal between all cultures, bypassing the curse of Babylon that divides us, and thus it becomes obvious that God walks with me and is guiding me through this. The great and mighty flying diaper nugget in the sky, that has led me through this gauntlet of suffering and misery, loss, purpose, and enlightenment to things greater than myself to be displayed for others to learn from, and thus giving my life a positive meaning to others. Yes, I shall explain my concept on that subject. It seems He wishes me to explain something I realized earlier, that my experience has in basic terminology made me an Nephilim, sent back from death by His hand to achieve a purpose. I am not unique in this concept, and there are many out there like me. This scenario has caused me to become a vessel of His will and more susceptible to be in tune with the Holy Spirit. There is someone who has undergone this same type of scenario who is rising even as I speak to a position that could lead to great things. I'm speaking of Joe Biden. He too has experienced death and returned, so he too is an Nephilim just as I am, and therefore a possible vessel through which we can come to expect great things to happen. It depends if he can overcome the despair that lingers in his heart for the loss he has experienced, that inhibits his confidence in himself, that inhibits his confidence in himself, that inhibits his confidence in himself. This is why He has had me include this in my successful first step along the path He has set before me. To absorb my experience and the wisdom I have come to learn and apply it to the destiny that lays before you. Overcome that which he requires you to move past within yourself. Cleanse the vessel of that which may taint his will through you, and most assuredly as I am with my power I too believe we shall come to bear witness to a miracle of God from him, if not many. But also be forewarned, we are entering the time of prophecy, so beware of dark influences that may disguise themselves as righteous causes, righteous causes, righteous causes. But also be forewarned, we are entering the time of prophecy, so beware of dark influences that may disguise themselves as righteous causes. Use my knowledge to see beyond the veil of bullshit and see bullshit for what it is. Beyond the veil of bullshit, beyond the veil of bullshit, and see bullshit, bullshit, bullshit for what it is. Bullshit for what it is.
I turn my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never share. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence.